All right, y'all. So I was at work. I don't know what made me decide to do it. I'm still here, actually. I just dropped the truck off. I just pulled up on TradingView. I was like, okay, UJ is not doing anything. So I was like, all right, let me look around, see what else I can find. I went on GU. As you can see, I may post it as I'm talking now. I went on GU, see if I can find something. Nice. So once I scrolled down and zoomed in on the 1 hour, you can see that it did a little extension and made a pullback right into that golden zone, and it's rejected it. So I'm entering in, and I'm gonna see what we can do. I think I'm going up for like 100 pips. Stop loss like 60, but who knows? If it win, you'll see. If it lose, you'll see. Regardless of it all, you're gonna see. I got in that trade earlier. I'm in profit, but it's making a retracement. That's all good. It's all good. As long as we respect this and go back up, we still good. I may not even let it hit the full TP because it's been pushing up for some time. I didn't get really much of a deep pullback as I would like, but it pulled back decent enough on the 1 hour, to give me the golden zone. But what it could be doing now, made its extension, retracement, another extension, could be just going back down and making its ebbs and flows down. So I don't know. Just gotta play it by ear, watch it close. This may reject this area too, because it is a demand zone, but yeah, that's that. Now at this point, I'm looking at the market thinking we about to just fly. I thought we was about to just fly. It went up, but not like the momentum I was expecting. Now, it was at this point where I was thinking about closing the trade because I'm like, it's pulling back. It's a small account growth. I only got about $600 floating in it right now, so I almost exited, which I wish I would have. It's all right, though. We got next week. Okay, so I'm looking at a buy setup on UJ. Now, I tried so hard to get on this OBS studio. Now, I really tried. I'm trying as I speak. I've been trying to go through all the settings and everything, as you can see. You know what I mean? So maybe the next video I can get it going. Right now, she's tough. But I've been looking for this, and this is the exact reason why I gave the rundown the other day. How I gave the strong impulse move, and it's at the strong weekly buy level, right? And it lined up with the golden zone right here, right? So it's finally giving me a slight reaction I need. It's kind of early depending on how you look at it, right? See, it came down into this golden zone. Then once it came up, made its impulse move. As you can see, I pulled out the field. This right here is the other golden zone based off this move from this point to this point. Saying that the buyers are here. And the reason why I'm looking to take this buy is because it came up and surpassed the previous level of sellers. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a full-on bullish trend, but because at this point it's still in the ballpark of where the sellers are. At the end of the day, truly, this is really where the buyers, the trend reversal. So I'm about to get in this right now. Okay, so I can't relax. I'm in the trade now. I really wanted it to come, break this level, retest, and come back, but I can still get away with this. And I kind of want to pull out the field and maybe take it to the extension level, right? Based off the 2 hour, I like the 2 hour better. This candlestick closure, the wick of this candlestick closure, up to this one. I do fields based off candlestick closure, right? So that being said, I could take it to this field to get a higher RR, risk to reward. So that's how I'm gonna play it. So when price gets to this level, I'm gonna do a stops to even. You know what I mean? So again, it came to this weekly level that I had mapped out, that I said strong buyers live at, along with this golden zone. It came to the golden zone finally, made its ebbs and flows, came back and retested golden zone again. And as it hit the golden zone, it's coming up to break this previous level of highs. You know, not to mention this level right here is where buyers live. So I feel a little comfortable with entering strictly based off it breaking this area here. You know what I mean? Although, like I was saying, this from here to here is really truly still, you know, you stand a chance of it, you know, continue back down to the downside, because this is where the breaker structure really is, depending on how you look at it. Some may say, okay, it came up, made a little high, broke this level high, now we buy it. You can look at it like that, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still within the structure of where sellers live. So that's why I got it in this one. But like I say, when it comes to this point, if it comes to this point, this is where my stops go to profit. I don't do stops even. I'm going to take partials, probably 80% of the trade, and bring stops into profit. So, zoom in. Since it's the hour or the 2 hour time frame, stop loss below this wick. If it get below this point, there's no true point of even being in this trade. You know what I mean? So that's that. We're gonna see how this play out. All right, UJ, this is where we at right now. This is about 3-4 minutes later. I'm gonna post the profits on the side window or on the side of the screen as we sit here. All right, so this is that. I'm gonna come back later on to give an update if we move, regardless of which direction we move. All right, actually, better yet, when price gets to the 786 on the field, let me pull out this mouse. Price gets to the 786 on the field. You know, I trade that too. Golden zone is 786. This is a strong reversal level. So when it tap this, I'm gonna take partials and I'm gonna bring my stops up to in profit. All right, and we still pushing. Now at this point, I'm looking at it lined up with the previous high with the wicks. I know that's an area where the price can reject from. So I started getting a bit hesitant, but still, as long as it stay above that support level, I'm good. But, you know, I just kept holding on. Just as I said, as soon as it tapped that 786 zone, it started rejecting right at the zone. So I went ahead and took partials, brought my stops in profit. I took $2 off, left one running. That 786 zone, the truth. Now, so for the UJ trade, which you did see in the previous video, so my confluence for that one is just trade breakdowns for the trades I took over the week. All right, it was this weekly zone where the buyers, you know, where the buyers live at. And once it came down, it lined up with the daily golden zone from the Fibonacci, from this level here to up here. Let me go ahead and draw it again to make sense of it. From this point to this point, golden zone, I drew it out, 5618. Then if you look at the daily or the 12 hour, this was like a level of support here. This was a support zone lined up with this. So that's like what I said, the weekly zone, Fibonacci, and this support zone. There's 3 confluences. Now if we go down to the hourly time frame, as I mentioned before, I know from this point, this swing high to the swing low, this is still technically bearish until we break this high. So I seen that the market came up, you know, made a retracement, broke this high, right? That's really all you need to determine the trend, 2 highs, 2 lows. Although I do know, still bearish. So once it came up, you know, came up, broke this high, it retraced it back down to the golden zone, and this golden zone came from drawing it this point to that point. So I saw it, you know, made its extension. It started making its ebbs and flows down, you know, the high, low, lower high, lower low. And I seen that it started, you know, like I say, it started rejecting. All right, so if you go down to a lower time frame, you'll see that this point is basically like a lower high, you know, or a higher low. this low, you know, made a bullish momentum, came back down and sat, made a seat, or should I say, came down, made a level of support, went bullish, and came back and made another support, higher low, and then this was the most recent high. So I'm like, okay, once the price passed this zone, I'm gonna go ahead and enter. We can get away with that, which I did. And at one point, I was like, I'm gonna pull my stops to even at this point, but I was like, it didn't necessarily break this high yet, so I didn't have as much trust in that. So I was like, I'm gonna go and pull out this fib and make this 786, 886 zone. As you see, now you see what I mean about the 786, 886. Soon as it touched it, rejected. Now, I think I was on the 30-minute too. On the 30-minute, once it came and made this high, most of the time you want to put, you want to put it below the lows. But I'm like, okay, if it come, that 786 and it didn't necessarily create that new trend reversal yet, you should still risk the chance of it coming all the way back down. So what happened was, as you see, I had $3 on there, 0.30. I don't call it 30 cents because it's times 10 when you do Forex. So $3 on it. Once it hit this zone, I took off $2. I left $1 running in. And instead of putting my stop loss below this low, I put it kind of like right here. So once it did, I took, 66% off, $2 up to $3. So I pulled my stops at this point and it stopped me out. And as you see, it kept on going. So no, I'm not in the trade. I got out at the I took partials at the 786, and then it came and took me out and kept going. So overall, direction-wise, I was correct. I should have put, next time I will do this. I will put my stop loss below structure. I just, I was thinking if it came down this far where I had it, and I was like, okay, more than likely to come down lower and go and take me out. So profits from this point will be much more profit than this point. So that's why, that's why I didn't pull it, put a stop loss at that point. No, stop profit. I don't do stop loss. I don't do stops to even. So I do stop profit. That was these trades. Yeah, that's why I took the ones I took this week. So the first one you didn't see, break even profit on GU when I was up like 47, 48 pips. UJ, how many did I get on UJ? All right, so from here to here, so I caught about 65. Cool with that. It's more like intraday numbers, but swing trading time as long as I've been in the trade. All right, so that was this week. We'll be back at it Monday. And to be honest, I think if I wouldn't have took partials and I would have just left the trade running, this one trade probably would have had me somewhere near 900. Who knows? But we'll see what's gonna happen next week. I'm gonna see how this video turned out, because I don't know the quality of this OBS with this Wi-Fi and this computer settings. That's why I've been doing it on my phone. So yeah, that's that. All right, so that was my trading week in a nutshell. UJ and GU went undefeated pretty much. I guess you can say undefeated. Yeah, it's undefeated. That $6 profit is a profit. It wasn't a loss. All right, so I feel as if next week I'm gonna hit that 1,000. I feel like I'm gonna hit the goal by next week. I really do. If UJ gonna do what I think it's gonna do, I think we may go ahead and finish that up. I'm trying not to say challenge, but that this account growth is gonna be complete next week. I really feel like it. But yeah, that's that. This is not gonna be the last that you see of me. I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm trying to grow around here. Yeah, so don't play with it. Get with it.